I have basically not filmed at all today. It is 5 o'clock. We are heading out of the city and it is so dark. All we did today was shop on Magnificent Mile in Chicago and like nothing else. So I am pretty sure that this vlog is going to not be very exciting. And I also feel like, I need to sit this down. And I also feel like there may not be a lot of quality footage in this vlog. So we're gonna rev it up a little bit by talking about my fitness and competition goals for 2016. Now, you guys know that I competed earlier this year for the first time in 2015. June in 2015 was my first show. I actually prepped for a show in the summer of 2014 to compete in the fall of 2014, and it never ended up working out for me. But anyway, I've had a lot of people ask, are you gonna compete again? What are your goals? Are you dieting? Are you cutting? Are you tracking your macros? What are your macros? Etc., etc. Like I said in my vlog yesterday, I'm not tracking right now, but I'm about to start tracking again because it's been about a little over 2 months since I've stopped tracking, and it was like a well-needed break, but it definitely, I'm good. Like, I'm ready to track again. What are my macros going to be when I start tracking? Well, they're gonna be pretty high because I wanna start, I'm not doing a mini cut or anything like that. Like, I wanna start cutting, but it's gonna be a slower cut, like probably, I don't know how long, it just depends on what I'm doing next year, which is also what I'll talk about in a minute. But I imagine my macros, which I'll probably start Saturday or Sunday, yeah. Probably something like 200 carbs or 215 carbs, I'm not really sure. 50 to 55 fat and probably 130 to 140 protein, maybe 150. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to my friends Carrie and Alicia and see what they have to say, which is another thing that I'm considering, which is my next prep, not doing flexible dieting. I know, right? Like, who am I? You know, I think flexible dieting is awesome, and I think it's super awesome for the average person wanting to lose weight, and I think a lot of people can utilize flexible dieting to get to the stage in a nice, like, and have like great physiques. I've seen people do it, like plenty of people. I don't know if I'm one of those people. Yeah, for those of you who've been following me since my show in June, I don't think that I came in like I was supposed to. You guys, I dieted for 22 weeks from like mid-January until the first week of June. 22 weeks, and I only lost like 17, 18 pounds at the most, which is not, it's not a lot of weight for 22 weeks when at the end I was down to like 1,500 calories a day or less and doing an hour and a half of cardio or more. And when I was utilizing flexible dieting, where I was kind of eating whatever I want as long as it fit into my macros. And talking with Carrie and Alicia, I'm seeing that it might behoove me to try more traditional, clean style of eating, which honestly is not a problem for me at all. I miss eating really clean, and given kind of like the health issues I've had a little bit in the last month or so, I think my body just wants it. I think my body just wants to be eating pretty clean and not utilizing a lot of the sugar-free stuff and the garbage, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I totally wholeheartedly believe in flexible dieting and will probably always utilize that as opposed to just straight clean eating for all of my dieting for the most part, as long as I'm not stepping on a stage. But if I'm going to prep next year, because I'm not sure if I'm going to do a show or not, I will probably be working with my friends, and I will probably be sticking to a meal plan. Now, granted, clean eating for a show is not just eating whatever you want as long as it's clean. It's still, I mean, there's macronutrients involved. All your food has macros, whether you know it or not. Whether you're tracking it or not, they're there. We'll just see though, you know? You never know what I'm gonna decide to do. I don't even know what I'm gonna decide. I don't know what I'm gonna do in 5 minutes from now. I have no clue. I might take my headband off. Let's get crazy. So, this is a very sloppy video. I have no idea what's going on. Do you guys know what's going on? I'm lost. Back to tracking macros, probably Saturday, because my first initial goal, and I'm still kind of feeling some stuff out, so I'm not sure 100% what I want to do, but my first goal is, well, starting Monday, I think that makes me 12 weeks out from the Arnold Sports Conference in Ohio. I went last year and it was super awesome. This upcoming Monday, I think, is 12 weeks out from, or maybe this Saturday is 12 weeks out from that event. And I would like to be leaner for that show. Not like stage lean or anything, but like not the weight I am right now. So that's what's really important to me. That might kind of sound weird, like, why are you leaning down for an event? Well, I just want to. And it's likely that I'm going to be meeting a lot of people there and hopefully networking a little bit, so I'd like to actually look like I lift. Am I going to compete again next year? I think so. I would really like to. With all of the health stuff that was going on with me in the last month, and if you've not been like following me, last month I had a lot of issues with my stomach, like where I was feeling nauseous a lot, and like a lot of like foods were upsetting my stomach, and but they got, all my lab results came back normal and fine, and I've actually been feeling a lot better lately. But still, in that time, you know, it was really scary thinking about that something might be wrong with me, and it just really made me take a second look at competing, because competing can definitely become unhealthy, and especially if you're doing it long term and you're not dieting correctly and you're on like low carbs for super long or doing too much cardio for super long. That can mess with your hormones, that can mess with your bone density, that can mess with all of your levels. I mean, it can mess with everything. Your thyroid, the list goes on and on. And granted, that is more likely what can happen if you are one of those people that's like prepping 45 weeks out of the year on a severe deficit and do this for like years and you never properly recover or like gain any healthy body fat back. But some people are sensitive and they just compete 1 or 2 times, and that's enough to cause them to not have periods or have problems conceiving later on, or you know, anything like that. And so I had nothing to indicate that I would have any issues, but it's still, I guess, just in the light of all the health issues I had last month, it just made me think twice. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth risking my ability to have kids in the future? Is it worth putting my health on the line? Even if it is such a small risk to do one show and to do it the right way and do it healthy, it's such a small risk. But still, I mean, you know, I'm not super competitive in nature, and I'm not one of those people that wants to compete to like win first place. Like, yes, I want to win, but it's always been more so just doing it for me, to better myself as a person, to put myself through something that makes me a better person. I guess I just said the same thing twice, but if you've been through prep, you know that it tests your character, it tests your integrity, it challenges you to do the right thing when no one's looking, to do the right thing when nobody's making you, you know, to get up early, to stick to a plan, to commit to something. And those are all character traits that mean so much to me, and I feel like those parts of my personality got better when I was prepping, because it was a constant challenge and a constant having to fight what my body wants, to do what I know is right for me and do what's part of my plan. And I love that. And I loved getting to the stage and realizing like all my hard work had, you know, come to fruition, and I did it. You know, I did one of these things that is really difficult to do, and now I just want to come back next year looking better than I did this year. That's what really is driving me to the stage this year. Not just because I love prep, I just don't know if I'll be able to keep myself off of a stage this year. So, but we'll see. Nothing's been set in stone yet. I'm still working with my friends Alicia and Carrie to kind of figure out what's best for me, which is shout out to them, because honestly they're so awesome to me. They're the friends that I had in one of my vlogs a couple weeks ago when I was at a bodybuilding competition, and they're probably the most supportive people I've ever met in my life, and they have been so helpful to me and so understanding. Like, a lot of bodybuilders don't have respect for girls like me. They're like, dude, get off the stage and go like enter a beauty pageant or something. Like, let the pros be here. But they were not like that at all. They're like, no, you have every right to be on the stage like anybody else does. Like, do what's best for you. And they also have said, like, if you decide you don't want to compete and you just want to get healthy and find your balance, like, we want to help you find that. And that's the kind of coach that you want to have, is someone who actually cares about your health and cares about your mentality. I've worked with coaches that don't care about the mental side of this, and I just don't understand how you can leave that out. Even with my girls that I coach online, I've got so many of you, but I know and I make time for the mental part of this journey, because it is a mental part. It's more a mental battle than it is a physical battle by far. And if you don't have someone there to say like, hey, you can do this, or it's gonna be okay, or hey, we're gonna do this because it's better for you versus this, or you know, whatever. So I'm very grateful to have found these guys, and I'm very excited to just kind of find what's right for me, you know, in these next few months, because it's been a weird couple of months, you know. My show was in June, and then from June until about August, you know, or probably the end of July, I was just gelling, I was doing my reverse diet, and then from like the beginning of August to the beginning of October was like a slow rise in anxiety over my body, over dieting and stuff like that. And I think it's just because I reverse dieted too long. Like, I get the merit in diet for reverse dieting for 12, 16 weeks like I was trying to do. But you know what? When someone's had a 22-week prep and you want them to reverse diet for another 12 to 16 weeks, like, are you joking me? You want me to spend like 40 weeks straight, like, strictly counting my macros and being concerned about what the scale says? That's, bro. Like, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. Like, if you think you can do that and that doesn't bother you, then go right ahead. But for me, by like week 6 of my reverse diet, man, I had just like run out of steam. It was just like, oh, it was not gonna work out for me. So that's why in the beginning of October, I kind of fired my last coach, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. And you know, it started as intuitive eating, trying to like maintain my body weight with intuitive eating, and then it just turned into, I'm just going to eat what I want, when I want, even though I know it means I'm gonna gain weight, because I miss eating things that are delicious, and I miss going out with my husband, and I miss whatever. Like, I miss choosing foods that I want to eat versus what I know has to be eaten to have the kind of body I want to have. And maybe that was selfish of me, maybe that was like a little bit unhealthy, because, you know, I obviously wasn't choosing all the healthiest foods all the time, but mentally, it was a break that I think did a lot of good for me. It's hard being on a strict diet all the time, and unfortunately for a lot of people, myself for sure included, a strict diet is what it takes to be in shape at all. Like, I know a lot of people can like not track for a couple of months and they still look kind of good. No, you guys, like, I look like a water buffalo right now. And I laugh about it, but it sucks. Yeah, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not happy with how I look, but mentally I'm like, okay, I did what I needed to do. I'm ready to get back on track. I feel good. I've got really good people on my side. I've got my husband on my side, and he loves me no matter what size I am, right?
Amen.
Oh, he said amen. And you know, if you're one of those people who are, if counting macros is really causing you stress and you don't want to stop tracking macros because you're afraid that you're gonna gain weight, you know what? There are worse things in the world than gaining a few pounds. Being miserable every day of your life is one of them. Being trapped in your house because you're afraid to go out and eat food with people. You're afraid to be in a situation where you are tempted to eat unhealthy things. Like, maybe you should relax for a little bit. And I don't say that like in a mean way. I say it like, hey, live your life. Like, you have one life. Do you want to spend your 20s totally obsessed with being super fit and never indulging with anybody? And I'm not saying you can't even be fit and also indulge. You totally can. But if you're at a place mentally where it's like, you are really at a place where you're like all or nothing, either you're gonna binge majorly or you're gonna restrict majorly, you gotta learn to find the middle ground. I know it's scary. I'm an all or nothing person myself, and I don't like the middle ground because I don't get to win that way. You know, it feels good to restrict because you feel like you're doing something for yourself, and it feels good to overeat because you're enjoying what you're eating. But to just indulge a little bit, but not overeat, but not restrict either, that's hard, because that doesn't fully satisfy one need or the other. But it's the best place for you. That's balance. And I feel like I found that. And you know, like this vacation, I had one dessert this entire vacation. When I wasn't tracking macros or making myself stay on any particular meal plan, I had dessert one time because food's not rare to me anymore, and I don't need to overeat all the time to feel satisfied. So this footage is 13 minutes long. I should probably wrap it up. I don't even know what I was supposed to talk. I was supposed to talk about my fitness goals, right? I think I touched on it. Yeah. Look who's so happy to have mom home. Are you so happy, kitten? Oh, the baby. Hi, mommy. Oh, she's rubbing herself on me. She ran down the stairs when we got home, and she just has been so affectionate. Never leave me again, Mom. Never leave again. I will never leave you, ever, 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 kitten. Oh, she's so cute. I am so glad to be home. I'm just so glad. I had fun on that trip, but I'm so glad to be home with my cute cat, sniffing my bags, sleeping in my own bed. Happy to be home. I've got like 100 emails in my inbox waiting for me too. This is the first time I've taken time off of work since I opened my business in June. The first time. Regretting it already. Back to work tomorrow. No more breaks ever again. Never doing that again either. Between missing my cat and having so much work logged back for me now, I'm never taking time off again. I'm never leaving this house again. I'm just gonna stay here, work on my job, and play with this cute kitten. Play with this cute kitten. Oh. Alright, this is gonna wrap this video up. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video wasn't like too boring for you guys. I tried to include some important, pertinent information to those who live this fit people lifestyle, like me. This cat. Alright, bye guys.